And like, yeah, I like grass. And she's like, yeah, like what part I was telling you about that I really love. Yeah. And I was just like, I can't handle both of them being this awkward.
Yeah. Hey guys, Nina here.
Hey, and I'm Anya.
And welcome to our podcast. We are back.
Woo.
Last week, you may have noticed that we were not posting anything because we were like super busy. There was a lot going on. We didn't even, honestly, we didn't even have the time to post a story and to say that we're not going to be posting a new episode. And also about the previous book, I started reading it, the last book of the Shades of Magic series, and I kind of didn't really, not that I didn't like it, I just couldn't fall into it, I couldn't dive into it. My thoughts kept drifting away, and that's why I just kind of decided to give up on it. So we decided not to do an episode.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we do this every single week, and it's really just us two running the whole thing, and we're treating this as like a fun thing, like a fun hobby to do. Mm-hmm. So if we ever need like a week or something to get back into it, if we're feeling like burnt out or anything, I feel like we can take that time off, and we would really appreciate if you guys get it. But like, I'm sure, like, I'm the same with everyone I watch, basically. Like, if they need a week, like, of course, like, take it.
Exactly. So if sometimes, we don't post anything, especially now in the summer, it might happen that, we'll have like a few weeks off or something, because when Anya's gonna take a vacation, I'm gonna take a vacation, so we just kind of have to think about it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. If you're subscribed, you get a notice when a new episode is out. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now this is a perfect chance.
That part, yeah. But about the book, yeah, the thing that I was kind of afraid of happening happened. And that is, like, we've talked about it before, but, like, my worry with these episodes is that we will pick a subject that is not something that we absolutely love and are obsessed with, nor is it something that we didn't like and we're prepared to, like, go in on and criticize the shit out of. It's when we read or we watch something, it's just like mid, but it's just like, it's fine, but we don't really have many emotions besides the fact that it's like fine, which is why I'm worried about today's episode, because this season is kind of fine.
Shit. I mean, in regards to what Anya just said, I feel like when it comes to podcasts, shows and stuff, the best thing for a podcast episode is if the thing you're reading or watching is just so amazing, or if it just sucks so bad, because it's the most entertaining thing to listen to when someone disses something, or if they just phrase it to the Lord, to the heavens. But when something is just like, in the middle, is like, then the conversation is also like, So hopefully today it won't be like that. I mean, I feel like the same about this season so far. So far, it feels like the least interesting one. We'll get to it, but still, there are things about the season that I do like. So, I feel like maybe it's easier with TV shows than with books, when it comes to this. You know what I mean?
There's, like, more storylines happening.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's easier, even if the season is like, meh, you still kind of find things that are great, and you can, like, discuss that.
True. At least something.
Yeah. So, okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so season 3 of Bridgerton. It is sadly divided into 2 parts. We have gotten our 4 parts right now, and I want to hear your opinion about that. Why do you think Netflix is fucking doing this? Sorry for my language.
Right, okay, so I guess we know your opinion about it now. I would say that as a whole, I'm not just in general a hater of seasons being divided. I feel like some shows have actually pulled it off, like maybe like Stranger Things or maybe like Teen Wolf a million years ago. I feel like for some it actually made sense. So whenever I hear it, I'm like, okay, maybe there'll be a reason. Maybe there will be like a dramatic plot twist. Maybe it will be like on like a beat that like really makes sense in the story to like let people speculate or fantasize or whatever about what's going to happen. So I wasn't initially just thinking like, this is stupid and pointless. I was like waiting for the story to justify it for me. And it didn't, and I don't get why they did it, and it was just like an episode ending, and I guess it didn't...
I mean, will you marry me is a big question.
But are we thinking she's gonna say no? Like, no.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like left on like some sort of actual big question. Like, by the way, I didn't read the books, but I'm like, there's no way you're trying to convince me that there's any sort of ambiguity to what's going to happen next. Like, hey, come on, I know, just like give me the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You explained this really well. Yeah, I don't like just splitting up seasons at all, like ever. Even Stranger Things, I didn't even watch Stranger Things until the entire season was out. And the same with any season, even Bridgerton. I think they did this last year too. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Bridgerton. And I actually waited for the entire season to come out and then I watched it. This year, sadly, I can't do that. But I'm still happy to be talking about it right now. And yeah, I just don't like it. I don't see the point. I don't even feel like from a marketing perspective it makes sense. I mean, people are obsessed with Bridgerton. They're gonna watch it whether you separate it or if you don't. So I don't really see what kind of a benefit they might have from this, financially, I guess.
Like, yeah, I guess I see it if there's a really, like, a huge reveal or a huge plot twist or a huge thing that happens that they, want people to have this conversation about. They want people to,
theorize. And yeah, okay.
Get a little more hype. But, exactly why I was waiting for something like this to happen. And now I'm I just don't know. Nothing, justified having it.
Yeah.
With the way the season has been paced, written, it just feels like more people will forget to even tune into the next part. So
that's true. Yeah, it might go for the worse. Maybe not a lot of people will tune in for the next part because they're disappointed. Because I have read certain comments and it seems like people are more disappointed than they are, happy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's just go into it. So this season is obviously about the third Bridgerton sibling. It's about Colin. He traveled the world and now he's back from his travels. He's been everywhere. He has a nice tan going on, looking more handsome than ever. And then we have Penelope Featherington. Penelope is a character that I personally fell in love with in season 1. Ugh, the actress is just so cute and just so charismatic and she's just really a good actress,
Yeah.
In the second season, I kind of was annoyed by her behavior, the way she kind of betrayed Eloise. I wasn't into that. She really was starting to piss me off. But in this season, I'm actually happy with her. And yeah, Penelope, she's been in love with Colin for a while, since she was basically a kid. So this is kind of a from friendship to lovers plot.
Yes.
So yeah, what do you think so far about Colin and Penelope?
Yes, so I agree with you that I also loved Penelope from the start. I think that the actress is fantastic. I've loved her since Derry Girl, so I was so excited to see her in Bridgerton. So, of course, I already knew that she's just great at acting, and I was so excited when it was revealed that she's Lady Whistledown, because I feel like this actress can pull it off.
Yeah, I agree.
Having a secret identity and shit like that.
I liked her as Whistledown for sure.
Yeah, so I totally enjoyed that. I agree with you about the second season. Of course, I didn't agree with everything that she's done back then, but also that makes for a more interesting character, I feel like.
True.
Yeah, more complexity,
For sure.
more interesting sort of friendship, relationship dynamics. So that's why going into this season, I was really excited for where they will take this character, for sure. And I always really, really liked them with Colin. I thought they were super cute. I really wanted them to get together. But yeah, Colin said that thing, at the end of the last season that, really justifiably hurt Penelope.
Yeah.
That was mean.
That was so shitty. I actually really felt icky about Colin after that. Because I really... I have so much respect for people who protect the underdogs. When someone is being shit talked about, like they actually stand up for them and they say they have a spine essentially. I like those kinds of characters, and I feel like that's something that Anthony would do, and the other brother Benedict and Colin. He's supposedly the nice one, but when he's supposed to be, you know, protecting a friend, he doesn't do that. I just feel like that's so hypocritical. So it just objectively, even not them as romantic, that's just objectively speaking, that's such a shitty trait to have. So yeah, I felt for Penelope there. I understood why she got so upset, and I was really happy at the moment when she finally told him, you know, why she's angry at him. I just really liked how she stood up for herself, and you know, how she told him that she expected him to do better. That she's used to being, you know, treated the way she is, but she thought she would never get that from him. Yeah. And I love that so much. And I could see the hurt in his eyes, and I could see literally the realization, you know, fuck, I messed up. And I was just so happy for that.
Yeah, true. Like, I'm happy that he at least, like, got some consequences for that, because that was, like, so not a cool thing to do, at all. Since then, like, I wasn't really feeling Colin. Like, I'm still not really feeling Colin. Like,
yeah. I feel like, honestly, he should have groveled a little bit more. You know, I really love those moments when she was talking to Lord Debling, yeah. When she was talking to that lord, and we could see the jealousy on his face, and I really love those moments when the actors express those emotions just with their face. You could see how conflicted he was about his emotions for Penelope. But I just wish we had more of those moments, you know, for example, let's say he admits his feelings to her finally, but then she's like, you know, it's too late or something, and she walks away, you know, just like make him work for it. You know, he was a jerk, and he needed a lot of time to realize what he has, and I really don't like men who figure it out and then they just get it immediately. I'm like, no, you need to work for it.
Yeah, I kind of did not love their relationship progression. I remember just watching this season and thinking, like, didn't the other main couples get, like, way more scenes and, like, way more screen time?
Don't even.
Like, I feel like I've barely, like, even seen them interact. And
yeah.
That's such a problem, because then you have, like, you know, them kissing, and then, like, a light bulb goes off in his head, I guess, and he's like, okay, I guess I love her now. And Penelope's just like, cool. And, like, I feel like I wanted more. And I've seen some people say that, you know, but they've been friends, they don't need this foundation that the other couples, you know, were given, because, like, we already, like, have seen them be friends for, like, the whole life. But, like, I don't really agree, but I think it's a problem with how this season was paced and what we chose to, like, focus on.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, we get them, like, I don't know, at this, like, market, talking about how they met when they were kids, but that could have been, like, a real flashback when we see them actually as kids.
Good one.
You know, we could have seen that. We could have seen them actually have a bit more of those lessons. Like, I was so excited at the end of episode 1, because I was like, okay, so this season is going to be about them, like, you know, spending a lot of time together, being, like, close, being, like, friendly, but kind of like, oh, I'm feeling those emotions that I shouldn't. And then she has to, like, go flirt, and maybe she gradually gets better at it, and then he keeps giving her more lessons. Then, you know, we got this scene where she read his writing, and then he was like, well, if you do more of them, then I will let you read some more.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get her reading any. Like, why was this then necessary if we got 0 lessons after that? And I feel like that's just, like, such a letdown. That's such a good setup for so many good, cute moments that we, like, let go of almost immediately.
Yeah.
So it didn't really feel like their season. I don't know. It felt like each time we saw Colin, we didn't, like, really see his internal world, which is such a big problem. I guess I'm gonna, like, rant for a little bit more now, sorry.
It's fine.
I've seen so many comments that, like, well, obviously we're meant to like see that like Colin is like so conflicted that he's like putting on this persona for the ton, and obviously this is what they're doing, and you guys who criticize this season just don't get it. Like, yeah, you need such a high IQ to understand what those threesome scenes mean, but it's like, no, I got it. Like, I got what they were trying to do. I got that he was trying to be the person that everyone wants him to be, and that he's obviously struggling with that. But, like, show him struggle. Yeah. Like, show him when he's on his own, not, like, having, like, sex with random people, but show him, like, writing in this diary about how conflicted he feels.
Yeah.
Show him...
Inner thoughts.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe talking to family or friends about it.
Yeah.
Each time we focused on Colin, it wasn't like his real, like, we weren't in his head. We were just, like, seeing him being, like, a bit awkward, and for that we're supposed to, like, get it. And, like, I did get it, but it was not written well. Like, that's my...
Yeah. And even sometimes when we saw him act it out in a way, it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't do it for me for some reason.
You know what? When we first met him, like, after he came back from his travels, and he was just, like, so, like, handsome and whatever, like, talking about all his exploits.
I left.
I shit you not, I thought that the plot twist would be that he didn't do any of it.
Oh, like he's lying.
Yeah, because it came off so fake. Like,
yeah, I know, right? It didn't... I'm glad you used to say this, because when he came, I thought, okay, he's handsome. They do this every season. The brothers just look more handsome. He had the tan. Yeah. He just had like a swagger. But I don't know, the way he spoke, it just seemed like it didn't fit him. No. I don't know. Maybe the actor just looks too nice. I don't know. Maybe he looks like such a sweetheart, and when he tries to be, like I'm such a bad boy or whatever, it just feels like, no, you're not, Maybe it's also because we know him from the seasons before as this sweetheart. For example, Anthony in season 1, he was a dick, and then in season 2 he was a dick. So it's like he's consistent, but Colin now supposedly he's changed his character all of a sudden. And also when you start this, you're like, where did this come from? You still don't know. So it's just like awkward.
Totally. And yeah, I don't want to put everything on the actor.
No, I feel like the actor is actually good, but just like this scene in particular was kind of weird.
Yeah, like I feel like it wasn't even like written well. Like the dialogue, it just like wasn't working. Like he wasn't selling it. Everything had to contribute to it, not just him. I don't know. It just felt like, I totally had sex. You can trust me that I had so much sex. I had all of it. I totally know what it is.
It was in your face.
Like
it didn't feel subtle. It was just like in your face, like, okay, we get it. You're like a womanizer now. I don't know. I didn't like it either. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not attacking the actor at all. And every time in a show, it's never just the actor's fault. It's a lot of things, okay? I mean, there are people there who are literally telling him how to do shit. So, like, they obviously also directed him in the wrong way or something. Like you said, even it was written weird, just like, it was not good. Anyways, I wanted to say, that I don't understand why we got so many, in my opinion, unnecessary stories. Because, like, when you do a show, you have to cut a lot of things out, obviously. And that's normal. But I feel like here, there were, like, a lot of scenes that could have been cut out, storylines that could have been cut out. I don't understand the Mondriches. Why are they there? I'm sorry, I just don't connect with them because they were never a part of, like, now it's literally all, like, they got this new house, their son is now Lord Kent. I'm like, why do we care, I mean, I get that we can, like, show them a little bit since the father, he runs the club, and maybe a little bit, like, now our son is Lord Kent, and just, like, a mention. But, like, we got a lot of them, their struggle, to fit into society. That was so unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand subplots if they had anything to do with Colin and Penelope.
Yeah.
Like, that's who we're supposed to be focusing on. Like, those two were just, like, random people in the town. And, I mean, so far in those 4 episodes, like, nothing connected back to the main story, and I just, like, I don't see the point.
Me neither. I'm like, I don't know, maybe in the future episodes seasons, they'll have...
Yeah.
Maybe their son is gonna fall in love, but no, their son's super young. No, I thought maybe their son's gonna be like in love with Hyacinth. Maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, Hyacinth's pretty young too, and then like when they grow up, they can like connect. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think here, like, you know, long term, but
that's the problem with them releasing just 4 episodes. Maybe in episode 6 we'll figure out that, like, something this dude is doing is actually super important to something about Colin, and then I'm like,
True.
Yeah, okay, I get why we had to, like, see all of this, but, like, now that we ended this in the middle, it feels like we were just, like, watching, like, 7 storylines that were just, like, happening.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Like, for no reason.
I get it. Yeah, I agree.
Nothing is really connecting. We could have had Penelope and Colin, like, having all those cute lessons this whole time, and we didn't.
I needed those lessons, and it felt like after Penelope got the suitor and stuff, everyone was like, yeah, obviously it's due to Colin's lessons, and it felt very serious, like they're very serious about it. Yeah, like he literally really helped her. Like, what the fuck did he do? Like, nothing. They had like, what, 2 interactions?
Yes.
And every time it went really horribly wrong and she ran away. He did not help her. This is all Penelope. He might have helped her if we got more scenes with them doing that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they had more lessons, like, somewhere, you know, while we were watching
And
the Mondriches.
why weren't we?
Yeah,
Like,
no, we were
that's the
focused on the
question.
Mondriches.
Yeah.
I hopefully I'm pronouncing their surname correctly, but you know who I mean.
Yeah.
That was just unnecessary. But okay, let's skip a little bit to Eloise, for example, and her new friendship with Cressida.
Yeah.
Thoughts about that?
Yeah, honestly, let's just all be real, my memory is shit, so I did not remember much of the previous seasons. I had to, like, read some summaries to remember what the fuck is going on. So, at the beginning I was like, what the fuck, why are they hanging out together, who is this like, I totally even forgot who Cressida was at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I remembered, and then I was like, seriously, of all people, like, those 2 are hanging out? But actually, their, like, side plot, whatever, was one of my favorites of the season.
Yeah,
I
I like
really enjoyed the growth of both characters.
Same. I love how they keep each other in check. For example, at the beginning I was also like, why Cressida? Why do we need more of her? She's mean. The things she has done to Penelope, like sabotaging her, embarrassing her, like even in this season she did something at the beginning, she kind of tripped her and stuff. You know, I was like, are we really gonna watch this? And also, like, why would Eloise hang out with her ever? In what world? But yeah, actually, it ended up making sense. There's more to Cressida. The things that she struggles with, they're legit and they're difficult. Like, similarly to Penelope, her family... I mean, Penelope's family isn't bad. They're just stupid, you know? I mean, her mother...
Yes.
Her mother... her mom, she legit, I think, cares. She really wants what's best for her children.
Yes.
Just... She's not a romantic. That's it. But with Cressida, her parents are just... I mean, especially her dad, like, awful.
Yeah.
And I felt for her, and I actually like the actress. I think, you know, in the first 2 seasons, I already liked her as an actress. I thought that she really pulls off this posh, you know, annoying, bitchy girl. And now that we see more to her, she also pulls that off. The part that's actually very nice and deep down she's kind, you know? So that's cool. And I also just liked, you know, how Eloise told her, like, you don't need to do this to Penelope. Don't be a bitch. Like, be better, do better. And she was like, yeah, I will. You're right. And I also liked what she said to Eloise. Let me just read it because I have a quote here. So, I do appreciate your concern about cruelty, but perhaps you should like to find the looking glass rather than looking at me. And that was good because Eloise can also be a bit hypocritical. So I'm glad that Cressida, she kind of also checked her and were like, yeah, I agree, I am a bitch, but like maybe think about yourself too a little bit for a second there. Yeah, I'm very actually impressed by them. And I also think they didn't take a lot of time. And it makes sense. Like Eloise is Penelope essentially best friend. It makes sense to focus on her and the trouble they're having. The only thing that I kind of didn't like, and it's not the actress's fault, like not Penelope's fault, the way she was directed is the problem, I think. But every time she sees Eloise, she's just like, I don't know, the face she makes, it's like, are you gonna come? You know, are you like orgasming right now? It's just so weird. Or like she looks super scared, or, you know, it's like awkward. It's weird. I'm sorry. Like I've had fights with friends, and I'm not gonna come here and be like, honey, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna be that like every time I look at you.
Oh
just
my gosh.
what?
I immediately started thinking of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you know, you know, when Mac and Charlie are in the restaurant and they're like at each other, and they're like that, like a across the restaurant, like those sort of glances.
Oh my
Like, the whole...
Every time they saw each other, it was the same shit. And like super painful, and I'm like, you can see I miss you so much. I'm struggling with this. I'm like, we know, dude. Tone it down.
That's the problem with this season. Like, so much of it was just. This is going to sound like the stupidest complaint on the planet. Like, why are you watching historical romance? But I feel like all that happened is that they were at balls and they were looking at each other, and that was the season. Like. Yeah. Okay, another episode. We'll go to another ball, and Colin will be all like jealous and all like that, and then Penelope will be like that at Colin, and then she'll be like that at like the bird guy, and then Cressida will be like that at her and the bird guy, and then Eloise will be like,
like it felt like every single episode was the same shit. Honestly, it was like, the same thing all the time. Like, you know, for example, in the season 1 with Daphne and with the Duke, like. They had their scheming going on, and we had a lot of scenes with them when they were scheming and talking about it, you know, so it was diverse. Even though they had the longing too, and they had the looks, but they still had other things. But every time we had an interaction with Penelope and Colin, it was just the same shit every time, because we didn't get anything apart from that, like the lessons, for example. Yeah. And honestly, I liked the first time they kissed. I do like the way the actor acted it out, because Penelope, she was like, you know, thank you, I appreciate it, and she, you know, walked off. But you could see in Colin, like, you could see the switch. You could see, fuck, you know, I am screwed. I like this girl. And he acted that out really well. So I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, after that, we needed more. Yeah. I mean, we needed more lessons before the kiss happened, and then after the kiss happened, the way it went, it should have been fine. Like, but before that, we needed more lessons. Yeah, and in general, just like more time with them together. More even time with Colin when he's actually being himself and shit. It's just away from the Mondriches. Yeah, that's my complaint about all of those looks. There was no depth to justify it, because we didn't actually like see this much meaningful dialogue or meaningful like flashbacks, maybe actual like deep time making those sort of connections. Like, I feel like it was just Penelope being awkward at the ball, gets almost hit with a balloon. Like, that's it. And like, I don't know, I feel like I needed more depth. And then like if they look at each other, I like at least I know why. I mean, I do know why either way, but like, you're smart cookie, not, but I get it. And it's like in the book, I read the book, guys. I don't remember it that well, but I do remember some things, and it was really good because in the book you could see the inner monologue, you know, so it made sense there, and you could see Colin's thoughts and the struggle that he has, the switch. So it makes sense, and I feel like they forgot for a second there that this isn't a book, you know? Like, it's not enough. Like, we need words sometimes, you know? Like, dialogues. We had, like, a scene, for example, when he was in his study and he was writing. Like, that was a good opportunity for them to give us a little bit of his inner thoughts, inner process. And another thing, I just wanna, like, let you guys know how much I appreciate Violet, Colin's mom. I mean, since season 1, I feel like she's such an incredible actress. She does comedy so well because it's just so subtle and so natural. And just her, like, the way she looks, you know, she just, like, you know, and, like, when the Lord came for Francesca and she gave him the cake, and she just, like, went into his face and she just, like, was staring how does he like the cake, and just, like, the way she looks, you know, her eyes, they're, like, they go like this, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love this woman so much. And I love how she notices everything, you know. Colin, he was asking her questions about her and his dad, you know, they were friends and then they fell in love and how that worked. And she's just so perceptive. She immediately understood what he meant and why he's asking that. And then he glanced at, you know, Penelope. And I like those moments. See, that was a good moment when he kind of confided in her a little bit. And he glanced at Penelope and she noticed immediately. And then she told him that the Lord, he's about to propose to Penelope. You know, that was good. I love how she notices everything. She's so good. True. And I really love that she is actually such a romantic and that she like wants this for her kids. Exactly. That's like so
cute.
It was another, sorry that if I'm interrupting, but another really adorable moment was when Francesca was playing the piano,
Yes.
and her mom, she was worried about her because she wanted to go from the ball sooner, so she was like,
Yeah.
fuck, what's gone wrong now? But no, she saw that she was happy about the Lord who gave her the notes,
Yes.
and the way she smiled, because she realized that Francesca might actually be falling in love.
Yeah.
You know, so that Francesca might also get something, even though she's very rational, it seems. And okay, now, I mean, Francesca, thoughts?
Yeah, her storyline I also enjoyed, by the way. Yeah, and the actress, she's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
Yeah.
Really pretty. I like her.
I just...
Wow. She's like, I don't know, I think the most beautiful Bridgerton.
Yeah, so she's so pretty, but also I did enjoy her storyline besides that. I really like her and John. Like, I kind of think it's so adorable that they just, like,
Sit.
and that's... But they, like, have this vibe together that's, like, just, like, so adorable. And
So
it's
cute.
just such a romantic thing to give her that sheet music. It wasn't like, oh, I wrote something like random or like, no, he heard what she said about that music and then like he went and like did exactly like what she wanted, just like as a thoughtful gesture.
And
I'm like,
it's so funny because he rushed off and it seemed like he was just done with her and like, I'm over you, you know, move. No, he literally just wanted to go as fast as possible to do the thing for her.
Yeah, they were just like awkward a little bit. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love how Francesca, she's different. You know, all the Bridgertons, they're super extroverts, sociable, they enjoy each other's company, while she obviously craves a little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And for example, she really got along with the lord that the queen suggested for her, but as soon as she realized that he also has so many siblings and that he wants like 8 children, again, the noise, you know, like she doesn't want that. She wants time for herself. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now, and I feel like John, he's the same, and it's like soulmates, literally. It kind of feels like that. But the first time they met, they were just like, you know, we can just stand here in silence. And she just kind of smiled, and, you know, it was a comfortable kind of silence for them. And I loved it. And yeah, I love Francesca. I love her story as well, obviously. Like I said, I love how different she is. And also, I love her for another reason. Oh my gosh, I wish I could say more, but like, I read... Guys, like, if... you haven't read Bridgerton, I really recommend that you read Francesca's book. It's really good, and it's also a bit different because she's so different, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a good book, and I can't wait for her season.
Nice.
So that's why I was also intrigued by her story, because I kind of knew where they were going with it. So I'm like, oh, this is John. Okay, I like it.
Okay, so I can expect that.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, it's not that big of a spoiler. We all see where it's going, and we all know that Bridgerton is about happy endings.
Yeah.
We can see that, like, Francesca is totally into John.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't such a shock.
Yeah. And that's why I love their mom. Like, she's not going to be like, no, marry this
Of course not,
queen says you need to. She's just like, oh, yeah, she wants someone. Yeah.
And it was so cute, like, the moment when he came calling, and they were sitting on the couch, and again, just being quiet. And, like, Benedict and Violet and everyone was sitting on the other couch, and they were just staring, and and I think Hyacinth said, like, they're not speaking. And Violet was like, but how will they get to know each other if they don't speak, you know? And I'm like, I don't get it, okay? Just, like, let them be. It was so funny. And another appreciation for Benedict. I love that man. I can't wait for his season 2. Even though I feel like in this season, the plot for Benedict was again stupid. I mean, like, what is up with his woman, the widow? She's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, like in a stepmom kind of a sexy way, but I don't care. Like, again, you know, why do we care about this woman?
I know, right?
And I mean, sexy time with her, and I'm not turned on, honestly.
No, but she's really beautiful.
No, she is, but I'm not. Is this the point? Like, she's beautiful. Oh, and she thinks with her own head, you know, she's smart, we saw that, but like,
yeah, no, as I was watching it, I liked her, but again, I think the actress is just, like, so charismatic that I was just like, okay, yeah, I like it. But, like, I read opinions of people on the internet, and they were like, this story, like, again, just had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
We were just, like, recycling the same thing with Benedict over and over again, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Like,
exactly.
Actually, if you look at it like that.
It's recycled. In season 2 he had the French woman, the seamstress.
Yeah.
She was the one. I don't remember if he had anyone in season 1. What I like about Benedict is I like how lost he is, in his identity. He doesn't know what to do. He's an artist, but like he's not a lord like his brother. He's just a mister. I don't know like the rankings. Mm-hmm. But he said like when Anthony returned, he was like, while you were away, I actually enjoyed it because I had something to do. I had a purpose, and now again, I'm lost and I don't know what to do. So it seems like obviously all of his conquests, all of this is just in search of something more that he's missing in his life. And I can relate to that because I feel like as a young, college student or just a young adult, we all have been there, so I can relate to Benedict. And actually, I wouldn't mind if we got a little bit more of that, a bit more of him like trying to understand what he wants to do with his life, because that makes more sense instead of just like, again, another mistress that he has and he's sexy with and stuff. But yeah, I read his story too, his book, and I really loved his book. And I loved him again as a character, and his love interest, super cute. Okay. His story actually kind of resembles a little bit of a kid's story, like a princess story. That I'm not gonna, like, for example, Akatar, it's based on the Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
His story is also based on like a little bit. It feels like that. It's super cute. So I can't wait for him. Yeah.
True. This season they could have just given him something better to do.
Yeah.
Like even hanging out with his siblings. Like I love that.
Because he's so funny. Like this actor, he has the charisma. He's such a comedic relief for me. Like everything he says is just hilarious, and the way he was hiding away from the Maas, the way he acted out, it's hilarious, and he comes to Lady Danbury and he's like, how are you today, and I'm like, come on, we know what you're doing. And Anthony and Kate, we got a little bit of them.
True.
Yeah.
Again, like one episode. I love them, but
no, I wanted more. Like for example, instead of getting the Mondriches, we could have gotten a little bit more of Anthony and Kate. Like, if we need to focus on other characters, let's focus on them, Because we were all kind of sad in the last season, that we didn't get more of their, like, sexy time together after they got together. And we got a little bit here, and honestly, I still can't get over the chemistry between these two actors. Like, they're still amazing. Like, even now that they're married and shit, like, the way they were touching, there was this scene when they were like, you could just see their hands touch. I'm like, oh my gosh, their hands have so much sexual tension. Like I could feel the chemistry between their hands, people. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know if any of these other characters will reach the level of chemistry that these two have. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm one of those people who believes that Kate and Anthony are the superior couple, meaning between like Daphne and the Duke. I love Daphne and the Duke, but Anthony and Kate, they win for me in the department of chemistry and stuff.
No, for sure. And I feel like that was the problem, because watching this season, I was like thinking about like, where's that level of chemistry between like our main couple?
And I honestly got the chemistry when they, for example, kissed the first time, and also in the carriage, like it was a sexy moment. But like we said before, we didn't get enough screen time for them to develop that chemistry. Like you need more of them to get the chemistry. So when you have the sexy time, sure, it's hot and you can see the chemistry, but you're not invested because you haven't seen that much of it before.
No, like, honestly, I was not, like, even too engaged in the carriage scene. Like, I wasn't too invested in it. I was spending it, like, thinking, what the fuck is that song? Where the fuck do I know the song from?
Yeah. So you were, like, distracted, actually.
Pitbull? They're playing Pitbull. They're playing fucking Pitbull. During the most... Yeah, it was, like, Give Me Everything Tonight by Pitbull.
Oh, my God.
During, like...
But I love that. But it was like a classic, Like, in a classic way, it sounds romantic.
For me, it didn't. For me, it sounded like, seriously, this is what you're doing for, like, the most romantic, sensual scene?
But it's not essential. It was a sexy scene. But it was a passion. It was, like, more animalistic for me than it was, like, romantic.
And I wanted romantic, and that, like, threw me off. It was more like dancing at a club and, like, making out with a stranger song. It's not, like, two childhood best friends, like, finally realizing their feelings for each other song. And I was just, it just, like, gave me cringe.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it made sense just because there was so much pent-up tension between them. You know, it had to be released, and that was the moment. But, like, I feel like the romance will definitely come too. I mean, like, now he's proposed, they're gonna get married, so I feel like we're gonna get that there, you know? We just have to wait a little bit. So I didn't honestly mind it, and honestly, like, I feel like every popular, like, a modern song fucking sounds amazing in a classical kind of arrangement. So I didn't even realize that it was Pitbull and Give Me Everything Tonight. I was like, oh my gosh, this melody is so good.
I wish I did not have the skill and the ability to recognize Pitbull immediately. That would be so helpful.
Yeah.
But no, this season, I feel like even, like, other song choices were not, like, at the level of previous.
I mean, I actually wrote down one song choice that I did really like. So I mean, Cheap Thrills. You know, there was Cheap Thrills while they were dancing, and I love Cheap Thrills. For a while, that is all I listened to when it came out. So I guess I just liked it because I like Cheap Thrills in general. Yeah. I was happy about it.
I guess so for this one, but yeah, they had like A, B, C, D, E, F, U when she walks in, and like I hate this song just in general.
Oh,
like,
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I do. Like, or they were just like placed weird in like moments where I wouldn't like place this song.
I didn't notice that. I liked it actually. I still like the songs.
That's good.
That's what I thought, you know. I love this show because of that too, how they remake them, and I didn't mind them this season either. But I can understand your point of view. Maybe they're like just not up to your taste, or if you really think that they were placed wrong, okay. I mean, maybe I should pay more attention. Maybe I just didn't pay enough attention.
Maybe that, but like I don't have this complaint for the previous seasons. I feel like they completely nailed it, and I loved it there.
That's true, but it is true. That is true. That now that I think about it, the music is more prominent. Like you remember it more. You remember the moment more because of the music. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they changed the people who work in the music. I don't know. Like it's weird.
Yeah, I mean they changed the showrunner, so that had a lot to do.
Wait, they what?
So, yeah, it's a different person now.
Well, that makes a lot of sense now. I mean, this makes. Okay, well, I get it now. But when you think about it from season 1 to season 3, like season 1, Daphne and the Duke, they were very prominent. Like they were all the time on screen. Then we have Anthony and Kate. There were less of Anthony and Kate, you know? We focused a lot, for example, on the Featheringtons and Penelope and the side plots. And a lot of people, like, in season 2 actually complained about that. And now, in season 3, is like, even more. You know, we focus on the main couple even less and more on the side plots. So it's like, I hope this isn't like a pattern that we're gonna stick to.
True.
I hope that they are gonna listen to the people and realize that like we need more of the main couple. That's why we're watching, you know. No, don't get me wrong. Like for example, I really love Penelope's sisters. I think they're such a good comedic relief, and I love the side plot of like them having to get pregnant. Oh my gosh, I died of laughter when we realized that one of the sisters, she wasn't even having sex. She was just kissing with the dude. And then he made a weird noise. And I recorded that moment. I was dying. Okay, listen, guys.
It's somewhat more subtle than a man's. You see, when he inserts himself.
Inserts himself? Inserts himself where?
What on earth do you and Mr. Finch do?
We kiss, and then he makes an odd sound, and then he goes to change his breeches.
His breeches remain on.
Of course.
Why must I be punished?
I just love the mom when she's like, why do I must be punished? And I'm just... Oh my gosh, how can such an intelligent woman have such stupid children? I mean, Penelope excluded, but...
Yeah.
How? And I mean, it's just hilarious to me because in the past, like girls, women, they had no idea what a man and a woman do when they get married. Like they did not literally know. They couldn't see it anywhere. They were just living in such a bubble. You know, they were literally protected from that because I feel like society was afraid that if they knew about this kind of pleasure, they would go off the rails and just, you know.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, it was funny, but I was also, like, thinking, like, damn it, like, that's why you need to actually have some education.
Yeah.
Like, poor kids, like, they're so in love and they don't even know what to do.
Yeah. But see, Penelope knows about this for sure. We could see in the carriage. But, like, you know, her mom, that's why she didn't want her to read, because she knows what you can get in a relationship. So, of course, she'd want a little bit of romance and passion.
Yeah.
But this was so funny to me. And, like, also, you know, when she came with her, like, maid into the room and the two sisters were with their man and, like, they were just, like, playing with candy or something.
Yeah.
And she was just like, how will I ever get these two to get pregnant?
Yeah.
It's beyond me. And, like, you could understand the one sister. She was like, you know, I just don't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that. Like, she doesn't like the guy, but the other one is just so stupid. Fun. So stupid.
Yeah. But it's like, it's so adorable. Like, those
Adorable.
two guys are just like,
They're so
smitten with
yeah,
those two.
that's cute. I mean, they really got married to two men who will treat them right,
Yeah.
you know, and they will not cheat on them and stuff.
No.
So they have, you know,
Yeah.
they're made for each other. Especially the taller one. Her man is super cute.
Yeah.
And I think that eventually she started to enjoy the act as well. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There was a funny moment when John, like, walked in and they were waiting for another duke or whoever. And he's like, I'm here to call one of your daughters. And Eloise, like, hid behind the front.
Yeah. Like, please not me. I love that too. And I love how Hyacinth thought that he was the duke or whoever, the other guy. And it was so funny. And also, I really liked when Benedict and Colin were talking. They were talking about Penelope or something. And I don't know what was the context, but Colin was like, she's a good acquaintance of the family, of course, and he was super awkward about it because he didn't know how to talk about her after the kiss.
Yeah.
And Benedict was like, "Are you quite all right, brother?" And I just love those Benedict moments when he's just, "What the fuck is your problem?" Or in season 2 when he was like stoned
Yeah.
and on the table, such comedy. I also really loved. I wrote it down here, guys. I loved how hot Colin looked when he caught the balloon.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. Like, just so strong, and he was pulling it, and like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I get why everyone's smitten.
True. But that scene was also, like, so much secondhand embarrassment for me. Because, like, sure, at the beginning, like, I got that Penelope was a bit, like, awkward talking to everyone.
Oh my gosh.
And, like, you know, I feel like we've all been there, we've said stupid things, so at the beginning I was, like, able to handle it. I thought it was cute, I thought it was funny. But, like, now that both she and Cressida were, like, trying to impress that bird guy, and they were both, like, super fake, and, like, yeah, I like grass. And she's like, yeah, like, what bird I was telling you about that I really love? And I was just like, I can't handle both of them being this awkward.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, my ankle, like, I must have I just, like, I have to, like, pause TV shows when they do it and, like, walk around the room for a little bit. Like, it's just like,
this season I actually felt secondhand embarrassment a lot of the times. And you know what I do when I feel that I pause as well, and I just kind of have to breathe in and out and just kind of, you know, get my shit together. And then what I do is, like, I put my hand over the screen just so that I can, like see a little bit, but not exactly their faces, you know, just like somewhere in the middle, so that I can handle, like, watching it. Otherwise I can't handle it. And then maybe, like, once I do that and once I get over it, I kind of can maybe, you know, look at it again and see it normally. But I felt like that a lot of the times, and I also felt like that when the balloon was going in her direction and everyone literally, like, moved. Cressida ran the other way, the bird dude too, and she's just like, oh, and breathing again, and and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, and then she fell, and I'm like, bitch, do you know what right and left is? Do you, like, have a perception of direction? Because what the fuck was that, you know? True. And I was like, it was just too obvious. At least they could have made it, I don't know, that she maybe slips. You know, just slips or something. But not, like, just being stupid. I mean, she's an intelligent woman, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for the balloon, I wanted to give her a bit of the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what I would do if a balloon was coming at my face. Like, maybe I would freeze and just be like, oh shit, and, like, not do anything.
Maybe, I guess. I mean, okay, let's say that it's possible for sure.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying it's a good thing to, I'm just saying that I could imagine being this stupid myself.
Yeah, okay, I get that. That's true. Oh, the thing that I wanted to mention, it's about, you know, when we talked about her expression every time she saw Eloise and stuff,
Yeah.
I just thought that, like, Penelope, I mean, the actress, she's a very talented actress, but it felt like in this season, sometimes the way she was breathing and stuff, it was just too much, just in general. You know, like the breathy moments. And I feel like it was the same with Anthony last season. You know, he also had a lot of those, the way he was inhaling and stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm attracted to Anthony.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm into men. So when he was doing that, I thought it was sexy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Penelope's doing that, since I'm not into women, I just found it to be awkward. You know what I mean? And I was just like, why is she breathing like that all the time? I mean, this just weird, looks weird. And okay, fine when it comes to Colin maybe, and like when he comes really close and she gets nervous, okay, that makes sense and can be like interpreted as sexy. But like we said before, like with Eloise and everything, I just... And the scared expression, and I'm like, it was too much. And also like with Colin, she also just looked scared. And I'm like, shouldn't you look different? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not to be a hypocrite, because like I said, you know, the way Anthony was breathing last season was intense, okay? But, I mean, Anthony, for me, he's like one of the most attractive actors out there. Like, literally, he's just so, for me at least, personally, he's so hot. So, you know, every time he did that, I was like, whoa, I wish a man would smell me like that, you know? Like, I should, you know, give Martin some pointers.
Yeah, even, like, for Anthony, like, I don't remember him, like, breathing specifically. Like, I don't...
No, he was like, he had those things, like, for example, when Kate walked by and he was like...
Oh, damn.
You know, when
Okay.
And, like, you could see, like, his nose getting...
Okay.
You know, and people were actually, like, commenting, you know, does he have a problem? Should he see a doctor? And I'm like, but that's so hot. He just likes the way she smells, okay? Like, I mean... hot.
That's like the kind of thing that, like, if you're hot, that's sexy.
But like Penelope, I think she's a beautiful woman. But like I said, I guess maybe men find it attractive. Maybe we should ask guys that like her, you know, visually. Maybe they're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot the way she breathes. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I didn't notice it, but I think that she's, like, so beautiful. And also, like, that's the thing that, like, we're supposed to believe that she's a social reject and that no one likes her. She's so pretty. I'm into her. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
But the thing is that I get why she would be a social... She's pretty for sure, but the way her mom was dressing her, that it just didn't suit her. Like, and they did that on purpose. They literally chose patterns and dresses and colors that do not suit the actress, you know, the way she looks, her complexion, her everything. So now she was finally dressing in a way that's beautiful, and like the difference is obvious, you know.
Yes.
And even the makeup she wears, like the way her eyes were like, you know, kind of like in a cat look. It suits her, the way her eyes are shaped, for example, and that makes all the difference. And also her hair was beautiful this season. They literally make the actors in the first seasons that they're not like the main focus. They literally make them look like worse than they are on purpose. And actually that makes sense. And in this season you could like see her in her full beauty, and you're like, wow, you know.
Yeah, and I guess this is when she, like, started getting attention. Yeah, true.
Of course, it makes sense, you know. And literally when she walked in, she had like 3 suitors already.
Yeah.
But the thing was that she was a bit awkward, so that was also secondhand embarrassment. But yeah, I like the way they introduced it, like that she's so awkward that she needs like help. But yeah, I wish she got more help. You know, what kind of help was that, Colin? I mean, the fuck? You didn't do shit. She impressed that lord by herself because of who she is. I mean, she needed someone to like tell her that, and he did tell her that, to be fair. So
yeah, those lessons, it was basically just him going, oh yeah, just like smile and like wave a fan, and then like, oh no, just be yourself, like, bitch, thanks. Wow. Oh, could I have thought about that myself?
Yeah, and like, I mean, if it's so easy being yourself, she would have done it already. Like, obviously something, so there's a problem. But yeah, like, he did notice the problem, though. He said, you know, you're thinking too much about what other people think. Even though he's actually thinking it right now, too, because he's acting like a dick because he wants to be perceived as cool. But that moment also was super funny. The first time he wanted to see her skills. So he wanted like her to flutter the thing and to like flutter her eyes. Yeah. That was so funny. And the man, he was like, is everything all right? You know, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, she looks like she needs to see a doctor.
Yeah. I do like the message that they're trying to do this season. That's absolutely true, that, everyone's sort of, like, struggling with, like, who they are and how they present themselves, and with the society, what the society wants from them. So it was, like, kind of nice seeing that parallel to, like, all of their stories. So, yeah, I think it's, like, a very good message to drive that, like, you don't need to overthink those things, and you just, like, be yourself. Like, that's so stupid, but, like, more deeply, it's about, like, not overthinking that to the point where you're not even, like, know what you're doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, like, and it's, like, hard to, like, come to this place where you can actually do it. So, no, I do enjoy that this is the plot that Penelope is getting.
It's an interesting plot.
True. I just, like, wish that, I don't know, it was a bit more of a central focus, that we didn't have all of those other stuff going on. And,
I agree. And another thing about Eloise also, I was kind of scared that now that Eloise knows she's Lady Whistledown, she's gonna be super bitchy. Yeah. And the first moment I saw her being friends with Cressida, I was like, shit, are they going in this direction? Yeah. That Eloise is now gonna turn into this evil mongrel that's gonna, like, be super mean to Penelope? Because I would hate for them to ruin Eloise. I like Eloise. But no, they actually made it in a really, like, the way, she doesn't like Penelope anymore because she feels betrayed, but she still wishes the best for her, True. She still wants her to succeed, and she's still not letting anyone know that she's Lady Whistledown. She's not trying to embarrass her or, like, be mean to her. She literally just doesn't want to be friends with her anymore because what she did was wrong, So I just love the way she handled it all. But I am super curious now that Colin wants to marry Penelope, how Eloise is going to react to that. Because Eloise knows she's Lady Whistledown, and she knows how Colin feels about Whistledown.
That's true.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I kind of wish we got a bit more callbacks to that, because, like, episode 1 ended with Colin being like, and I fucking hate Lady Whistledown. The moment I find out who she is, like, that's it, bitch. Maybe we could have even gotten, like, a couple more breadcrumbs that he's still, like, I still fucking hate Lady Whistledown, though, and then Penelope's like, fuck.
Can I just hide under a rock,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe this episode should have ended on a cliffhanger in which they literally come to his mom, and Eloise is there too, and they're like, we're getting married. And then, like, zoom in on Eloise's face where she's like, no, the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And that would be a good cliffhanger, honestly, because we know the secret.
Yeah.
And every time Colin was like, why the fuck are you friends with Cressida and are you, ignoring Penelope? I will never understand. What could have she done, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are in for a surprise.
Understand one day.
And even Penelope had to bash herself, like as Lady Whistledown, because otherwise people would be suspicious.
True.
And he was like being, I'm so sorry, what she wrote about you, just so awful.
Yeah.
And she actually said something, if she hadn't written about me, it would have been suspicious. And I feel like that was a bit of a giveaway, honestly. If I were Colin, I was like...
Didn't she say that to Eloise, though?
No, she said that to Colin.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I feel like if I were Colin, I would be like, that's what you meant, I mean, maybe when he finds out, it's gonna be like that. So that's what you meant when you said that. Maybe they did it on purpose. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be super cool when Colin finds out.
Yeah.
I'm curious if, like, everyone's gonna find out. What do you think? Like, is the entire society gonna find out?
I think so. I mean, if it's Penelope's season, then, like, let's give her a fucking storyline.
But then there's not gonna be any more Lady Whistledown in the next seasons. Isn't that gonna be kind of...
But why can't she just, like, keep writing, but everyone just, like, knows that she's the one who's doing it?
That's true. I mean, mystery, But it's true, it has to be real, I think, because otherwise, are we just gonna, focus next season's 2 on who's Lady Whistledown? Okay. Or maybe we just kind of entirely forget about it. Everyone just is fine with her being Whistledown, the people that know, and the other people, they're just, like, gonna keep reading her. It's not gonna change. I don't know.
I guess so. I would like a dramatic moment where everyone finds out.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool, but I would like for her to keep writing, but maybe it's a bit more of everyone knows that this is who she is, and maybe it's a bit more official, but like everyone still like eats it up and like reads everything.
Yeah,
and shit, so.
exactly. And I feel like once they find out, and like if she sells it in a good way, I think everyone's just gonna be like, wow, we love Penelope.
Yeah,
You know, especially
obsessed with her
because
now.
everyone loves Whistledown. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, they might be like, who is this bitch? You know, she's writing shit, but everyone eats that shit up.
Yeah.
Even the queen, she is bored without Whistledown. You can
Yeah.
see, like, the moment Whistledown challenged her and said something about, you know, the diamond and all of that, she was like, she's playing games, you know? And
Yeah.
obviously you can see that she loves how she's playing games.
Totally.
And another thing, Violet, do we ship her with Lady Danbury's brother?
Sure, whatever.
I'm actually super into it. I feel like their chemistry is really good. When he picked her handkerchief or she dropped
Yeah.
something, it was great. And I just want Violet to be I mean, she is happy, but like I want her to have someone. And actually you didn't watch Lady Charlotte. I mean,
Not
Queen
yet,
Charlotte.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But I don't think in Queen Charlotte it's explained why Lady Danbury doesn't like her brother. I might have a theory as to why, but I'm not gonna disclaim it here since you don't know.
Sure.
Or actually, I can talk about it. It's not a big of a deal, but guys, if you don't want to know anything about
Okay.
Queen Charlotte, just like skip like a minute. But yeah, essentially, you know, Lady Danbury, she had a tough life because she was married off to like an older man, and she was raised to be his wife. Like
fuck.
since she was a child.
Jesus.
Everything she loved, meaning the food she ate, the color she loved, everything was suited to him, meaning if he loved cake, she's gonna love that cake because of him. So she didn't
Jesus.
even have the chance to have her own personality. So maybe I have a theory here that maybe she kind of resents her brother. Like maybe if he didn't step up for her or say anything, maybe that's why she just kind of resents him, you know, that he had the freedom that she never had.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that could make sense, yeah. I mean, I love Violet, I want her to be happy. I thought that, yes, that they're cute, like, they're totally compatible and have this chemistry and stuff, but, like, we need it to be happening at this point, at this moment in time. Like, if Queen Charlotte can have her own, like, little season, maybe
we'll get her season.
Maybe that could have happened then, you know?
But honestly, for Violet, if she gets her own season, I would actually prefer it to be about her late husband. I would really love to see how they met and fell in love, because, I mean, all of these children, the Bridgertons, they keep talking about the love story between them, and she keeps talking about it. So, like, I'm getting goosebumps actually right now. It would be so good to see that happen, like, on screen. And even, you know, in season 2, we got a lot of flashbacks, a little bit of their dad too, right?
Did we?
Did we?
I don't remember that well.
Oh,
you know?
no, we got Anthony, like, how he died and he found him. I mean, he was there.
Fuck.
Yeah, we got that. You know, when
Yeah.
he got stung by the bee and Anthony was there. Yeah, that was so sad. I mean, what kind of a dad? Like, so stupid, just like a fucking bee, you know? Oh, yeah, it's sad.
Know.
You never know. But yeah, like, see, I mean, this season might be, but honestly, there are a lot of things that I think we also enjoyed in it, right?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I enjoyed. I sort of wish that they just picked a couple of storylines and focused on those storylines. Like, I feel like, obviously, Penelope and Colin deserve some more. Then we have Francesca and John, they're also adorable. Then Cressida and Eloise, I feel like, was also necessary for this storyline.
Yeah.
So I would pick, like, those three and then, like, leave that random family and just like have that, and that would be like great, because
and the
was just too
few
much.
the comedy that we get with Penelope sisters too, I dig. Like, I really do. I'm sorry, the like baby plot,
true.
that's funny as well.
Like, keep Penelope's family to like basically focus on the families.
Yeah, exactly, because
So
we have
sweet.
Penelope, so her sisters and her mom make sense, and we have Colin, so his kind of like a little bit siblings make sense. I agree.
Maybe I have a little bit of a theory about Cressida.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if it'll happen, but like, with the way that she was like really always calculated about every single relationship with like every single like suitor, whatever, it feels like for her it's like a competition to win. It's not like she is actually like looking at that person and like feeling anything. She just like wants her mom to like not fucking hate her for that, to not like marry her off to whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she like, this is, like, the first time she, like, actually, like, has a friend, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sad.
I don't know. I kind of am getting a feeling maybe she's into Eloise.
Really?
When in episode 4 they were like talking at that ball and she like looked at Eloise and she was like, actually, like, what do you think about society? Like, I actually want to know. Like,
Yeah.
At that moment I was like, wait, I could like this.
Yeah. I actually thought that for a second too.
Yeah.
But then Eloise, like, she was speaking and then she kind of just lost her, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of told me that it's not going there, you know?
Yeah, like, that's like, I like was delusional. I was thinking that for a second and then the next second she was like, oh no, like, that bird guy is doing something, like, I gotta run. And,
Yeah.
But I still feel like maybe she's still, like, looking to, you know, get away from her family and everything. That's why she's so...
No, it's for sure
focused
that.
on that.
It is for sure that. But I
Uh-huh.
think that if we were going in the direction of Cressida falling with Eloise, I feel like when Eloise started talking about the things that she wants to change in society, you know, someone who's into her would be fascinated and just keep listening. Instead, she kind of forgot about it and she kind of just drifted away, you know?
That's like, I imagine it in my head and then it happened. I was like, god damn it, like, it wasn't that good.
Exactly. But it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It definitely... I just don't feel like... I don't know how they would make it work because sadly in that time, I mean, that I guess that could be a change in society that, you know, like, we have a change, for example, of biracial people, African people, they're like at the same supposed level.
Society.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, they could change that here
Yeah.
too, that, you know, bi people, gay people, they're also, like, accepted sooner than they are.
Maybe, yeah. Or just, like, even if they don't get together, like, I definitely get that vibe from Cressida. I'm not, like, I'm going to be real, like, it probably won't happen, but, like, with Cressida, I feel like maybe this will be just her story, that maybe she has this crush, but then, like,
Yeah.
something else happens with her.
Totally possible. And also, I just kind of feel like, I think that maybe Cressida could be happy with this lord, you know?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a love match, probably, but also, like, he has the same thing. He said that he doesn't get along with his family, that they're so different, and it's the same with her. And, like, she could have her freedom too, you know, she could run her own estate, and he would be traveling. So it's not, like, perfect, but I don't know, maybe she can find a lover and fall in love with him. I mean, it's not right, but, you know... if it's not a love match. I just want her to get away from her dad.
Totally. And, like,
Yeah, I don't want her to get married to an old guy.
true. I like, honestly, that Devlin guy. I like him.
I like him too.
I think he's
a good guy.
It's kind of like a problem that they made the guy who's supposed to be, you know, not Colin. They made him actually, like, so charming and such, like, actually, like, a good fucking person, that I was like, damn it, like, I kind of prefer him over Colin.
I mean, I texted you that, remember? Actually, the moment they met, I was like, this guy's so good. He seems to accept Penelope from the start.
Yeah.
He seems to be nice to her from the start. He sees her the way she's different and he likes her for the way she is. While Colin, he's known her for ages. He knows for ages how intelligent she is and how quirky she is, and he still doesn't see her as more. Like, he literally had to kiss her to get it, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I just prefer storylines when the guy just sees that immediately. He's not like, ugh, I'm too cool for you.
Yeah,
You
like,
know?
yeah, like in the end of the last season.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, like, yeah, I'm still not completely sold on Colin, but obviously they're gonna go there, and obviously, like, whatever. I mean, maybe they'll convince me. We still have 4 episodes, and maybe that's why they separated the season. Not because the first... No, not because, like you said, the cliffhanger isn't that good, but maybe the other 4 episodes are just so fucking brilliant that we'll forget about the first 4 sucking, you know?
Yeah. To reiterate, they didn't entirely suck. Like, they had their moments. We enjoyed some of it,
which was obvious from our conversation, I think.
True, but yeah, like, I'm crossing my fingers that the next 4 episodes redeem everything, that they explain why the fuck did we need to care about all of those fucking storylines.
Yeah.
Why there were so little of, like, the main couple. Like, I need them to really, like, justify all of the choices that were made so far.
Same.
Yeah.
And before we finish this episode, I just want to say that I might have a theory about Benedict's lover. I think it's possible, actually, that she's kind of connected to Benedict's actual love interest, the one he ends up with her. I'm not gonna say more, but like, yeah, he might meet the love of his life because of her.
Oh, so like this is not...
So maybe this isn't entirely random.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. I might be wrong because I don't really remember names. I don't remember do you even remember the name of his widow lover? No? I don't, like, for example, she did introduce herself, but I didn't like say, oh my gosh, she's from that book. I didn't remember that, but... You know, maybe they might have changed things a little bit in order to surprise us, or she is it and I just don't remember the name, but it might be not entirely random, so people, before you know, you get completely angry about the storyline, maybe it actually does make sense at the end. And do we know? We still don't know. Guys, if you maybe read somewhere and we don't know, but like, I don't think I've read anywhere about what story is gonna be, you know, the story in the next season. We still don't know that.
I'm not sure, but I'm also like not following.
I'm not following
very
either.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually completely possible that it's gonna be Benedict. So if it's gonna be Benedict, it's a high chance that this lady is connected to his love. You know.
So, but it's not his love yet.
No, it's not her.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not her. No.
Okay.
I mean, and again, this isn't really a spoiler just because it's obvious. It's a sexual thing between them. She's not looking for anything more, and she honestly doesn't seem like the best person. I don't feel like she's a good person. The way she treated that lawyer, the way she talked to him, I don't know. She seems like, you know, I am, you know, this important person and you shall listen to me. She seems kind of like that and a bit of a fox, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like, she's, like, charming, but... Yeah, like, my point is basically, like, so far I'm one of those people, like, why did we need this?
No, for sure, I agree with you. But if it is who I think it is, it might be cool.
Okay,
so I guess that's it. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think that we
covered it.
Got it, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Let us know what your thoughts are about Bridgerton Part 1 Season 3. And yeah, like, connect with us on Instagram, on TikTok. We'll be posting videos about this. And, well, next time we'll be talking about Sarah J. Maas's Assassin's Blade, right?
Yes. Let's go. But also, like, a disclaimer, I don't remember what time is and what is next on the calendar, so just warning you that I'm, like, seeing Taylor Swift, like, twice in the following months. Like, she's going away to places, so, like, spoiler alert, the next thing on our schedule is the Throne of Glass series, finally, so you're going to be getting that. You're going to be getting Lost when we finally finish watching/rewatching Lost. And you will be getting the rest of the Bridgerton, whatever it comes out. But I will just say that, like, right now, I cannot tell you which thing is coming out where.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You'll just...
So far, we've been really organized. Like, we've been posting literally schedules in advance for like 3 months in advance so that you guys know. But right now, it's gonna be more like, let's go with the flow. And like we said, subscribe so you get a notification when a new episode is out. In the meantime, follow us on Instagram. We always post something, like, at least in the minimum 4 times a week. So you can, like, connect with us there for sure.
Yeah. And I'm so excited about Throne of Glass, actually, so we will be doing it, and you will hopefully like those episodes too.
Yes, so. I'm a big fan of Throne of Glass. It's my favorite Sarah J. Maas series, and I'm really excited to talk about it too with Anya. I can't wait for her perspective, what she likes, what she doesn't like, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and Assassin's Blade, this will be the first time you're reading it, so
yes,
it will be
I haven't read Assassin's Blade because I just started with the first book. I thought I don't need a prequel, and also once I kind of got spoiled about Assassin's Blade, I didn't want to read it because I was like, I'm not sure I like the storyline, but now I have to read it, so we'll see what I think.
You need to. Like, I already, like, had a friend, like, angry at me on Instagram because she was like, you can't read this before you read the first book, and I was like... Actually, I've already read everything up to Tower of Dawn. I read everything, and, like, I don't remember why, but I know full well that past me was like, she should have started with Assassin's Blade, and I should have started reading it with Assassin's Blade. So that is not a popular opinion in the fandom, but, like, I'm trusting me from the past. I don't know what she was thinking, but I'll find out.
I mean, yeah, I've heard actually compliments about Assassin's Blade, so, I mean, honestly, like, if if I would be myself normally, I would also read the prequel first. I would go in the right order, I don't know. I don't even think when I started reading, I think it was very random. You lent me the books, so I just read.
In high school.
Exactly. She lent me the books in high school.
We're 26.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just read the ones that she gave me. I didn't even think, oh my gosh, there might be a prequel. But okay, we'll discuss this further in that episode. We're like...
Still going. Oh my
Yeah. So, okay, guys, thanks for listening. See ya when we see ya, and have a nice day.
Yay!
Bye.